Hey, how's it going? It's Sunday, and as we do, we're gonna be talking about finance and everything related to finance on weekends, starting with every Sunday, and hopefully we're gonna spread into perhaps Saturday and Sunday later on. But in the beginning, we're gonna do that every Sunday. A store of value. It's economic and financial term that refers to an asset or a form of wealth that can be saved, preserved, and used in the future to maintain its value or purchasing power. In other words, it's an asset that can be reliably held on exchange for gold, for goods or services at a later time without significant loss of value. Where else would you start if not if your hard work and hard earned value that you potentially can generate yourself? How you would keep that value, hopefully. So keep it. Uh, First of all, so three steps, right? So first step would be earn, keep, and multiply, right? Or something similar to that. Either way, how to earn money pretty much depending on your age. Most likely everyone knows how to make money to some extent, but some people are better at earning money than others, but perhaps you can improve that as we go along. But yeah, from there we're progressing into keeping it and storing value, right? So that's where we are, and from there we might be interested, at least I'm interested, of how we can multiply that value over time. So if we were to look at how we can store value in this video, I'm going to be covering some of the examples out there, how we can keep it. Some key characteristics of a good store of values include most likely there are a lot more, but if we were to begin with stability of value, a store of value should generally maintain its value over time, or at last not experience significant fluctuation in value. Assets that are subject to rapid and unpredictable price change are not considered reliable store of value. Liquidity. It should be relatively easy to convert an asset into medium exchange, i.e., cash, when needed. Liquid asset can be quickly sold or treated without incurring substantial transaction costs. The, Everyone perhaps should consider how easy it is to get in and get out, right? So if you were to find yourself with a hard cash, right, which having cash not necessarily a bad store of value, how you're going to use that cash to exchange into different hard assets, perhaps property. But if you will get in any type of property, how fast you would be able to get out? With 6 months, 12 months, 2 years, right? Or 18 months. So that's what we're actually discussing, liquidity of the store of value. Durability. A store of value should have reasonable degree of durability, meaning it can withstand wear and tear over time without substantial loss of value. For example, gold and real estate or property are considered durable assets. There's some maintenance fees involved in with something like a property or real estate. What gold in comparison with upkeep, right? So it perhaps security, but overall, since we're discussing durability, just in comparison, right? What would be requirements? Divisibility. Ideally, a store of value should be divisible into smaller units. This makes it easier to use for various transactions, both large and small. Uh, uh, I'm currently reading a book about economists, and some of the obstacles that they had in the past based on history. They're not necessarily gold in its form, not necessarily at the time in Rome. Not necessarily everyone had accurate scales to determine weight of the gold, but that's what we're discussing. So some of those metals, precious metals, and how they were used as a store of value back in the day, and some of the obstacles that they had back then. Universal acceptance. The more widely accepted an asset is as a store of value, the more valuable it becomes. This is why currencies issued by governments, fiat currencies, fiat, aka made of thin air, that doesn't really mean anything other than perhaps trust. Often used as a store of value as they are generally accepted for transactions without any specific jurisdictions. Universally accepted is something to be considered. One of the characteristics when we're discussing best ways how you can store value, and then would that be widely accepted, and what would be widely accepted, right? Some of the problems that everyone was trying to solve with coming up with the best ways to storing value, right? So I like different example. I like an example where one party was trying to pay for goods or services to another party. So another one party was trying to pay, and another party, perhaps one party has silver, another party trying to pay for grain, and another party not necessarily accepts the grain, but perhaps the other party interested in wood, or other party interested in gold, or perhaps in dollars, right? So you can pay, or coffee, right? Other commodities, right? So what two parties, both parties need to agree on what is acceptable and what is needed. So I like this example, but overall, universally accepted. It's something that we are looking for. I would highly recommend to everyone interested in fitness. I have published a book on this subject. I have done over the years, many years, as well as I finished my own personal qualifications. I have done everything with that particular industry, and after I have completed, I have published a book, right? And this particular book, I'm sharing all information within regard to this particular topic, fitness, working out, lifting weights, from resting, exercise routines to eating. I'm covering everything, especially if you're just starting out and you don't really know where to go, what to do, where to begin. I'm covering everything in a very detailed plan of how to do it, where to begin, where to go, what to see, as well as myself from my personal experience, as well as looking at top talent with the different industries. I'm covering this particular topic in a very detailed way. You can find this book in the description below, as well as Top Retailers has it. Common examples of store of value include precious metals. I'll be looking at some of the examples of precious metals just based on history. There are some of I personally encounters how everything began, and some of the lessons that I'm interested in myself, perhaps other people are interested to learn, of how currencies operate back in the day, and the same examples are happening to this day. So there's nothing new. Well, that's what I'm saying. There's nothing new. How everything began with the precious metals and how the process progressed. But either way, I'll cover that a little bit later. Historically, precious metals like gold and silver had been used as a store of value due to the stability and durability, as well as not limited to just to those two metals, but there were other different types of metals where everything began, how it progressed, but overall, precious metals used to be used for store of value. Real estate or property investments can serve as store of value because of they tend to appreciate in value over time, as well as land. At one point, U.S. Did some interesting things where 25% of U.S. land was backed by its currency, not 25% of its parks and everything was backed against but it's not on the records anywhere, so I don't know if it's okay to say that. So it's don't quote me on this. Yeah, but a lot of people did interesting things with the land as well. It's not necessarily just with the property real estate. Fiat currencies in many countries, governments issue fiat currencies like from the top down. That would be U.S. Euros, or Japanese yen, and some of the other used as a store of value currencies. Even though they may lose value over time due to inflation. Uh, since it's not backed by anything, right? But there's some of those currencies would lose the value overnight, right? Or every certain period of time, right? Every 4 years, every 8 years, they constantly print more and inflate the currency, right? And we're looking at store of value, some of other alternatives might be collectibles. Some people invest in valuable collectibles such as art, rare stamps, vintage cars, considering them a store of value. But there's again the supply and demand because there's might be increased demand in the future. The unlimited supply, some would consider that's a store of value. Uh, there are options of that, right? And the last one would be cryptocurrencies. Some of cryptocurrencies, top projects up there, as you most likely know of those, due to their limited supply and they believe that they can preserve value over time. So again, there are some projects up there who considering this problem, looking for ways to solve some of the problems up there. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next one.